Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Auto Detail. I told you I would be mixing in fresh content in with the content that I'm already moving over from the old channel to the new channel and refreshing it. Today, I want to talk about pollen. 'Tis the season, and pollen is heavy this year in my area. Horrible for us, the nose, the throat, but for the planet to survive, we need pollen. It's just the way it is. When it comes to the car's surface, protected, unprotected, you need to rinse it and get rid of it as often and as soon as possible. It's grainy, don't wipe it dry, it will scratch. Coated car, PPF, unprotected car, waxed, sealed, doesn't matter, it will scratch. Don't try to remove it dry. Rinseless, waterless washes, hey, give it a shot. I don't like to do it. I will, if I have to, just run down to a coin-operated car wash, put in $3 and blow this stuff off the surface immediately, just their water. If you can use their soap and it doesn't have any garbage additives like wax or gloss enhancers and it's just straight up clean water with a shampoo, a quality shampoo, that's perfect because that will sort of neutralize the acidity. And let's talk about the acidity. Each grain of pollen is acidic. It has an outer exile or outer membrane that has little hairs that come out, little flandules that attach to the surface. That's why it's hard just to blow it off, and that's why it sticks to the surface, sticks to coatings, sticks to paint protection film. And it's okay on its own. If there's no moisture whatsoever and it's just the dry dust, leave it there until you can get it rinsed off. But when it mixes with water, that's where the absolute damage starts, because the outside membrane dissolves with the water because water is a solvent, and the nucleus is acidic, mixes with the water, will cause water spots, a rain shower, a sprinkler, whatever gets on here and mixes with the grains of pollen. Horrible water spotting, and will start to etch into your clear, your coating, your film within an hour of the sun being out. So rinse it. I'm going to show you a couple ways that I deal with it. If it's on my vehicle, the ones that sit outside, this sits outside. Let's get to it. Okay, first, if I could quickly drag out the pressure washer into my driveway, or if I could stop in a coin-operated car wash, somewhere where I have pressurized water, and water alone is better than nothing. It's not like you're going to be spraying this thing and letting it sit as is for the pollen to mix with the water, release that acidity, and let it burn in. You're going to rinse this completely and thoroughly, and then I'm going to show you what I do right afterwards. This car is partially coated, and I'm just going to rinse it. Now I'm going to bring you in and show you something very important here. On this vehicle, the pollen has laid there, and it has maybe a shower went by or a little bit of dew in the morning mixed in with the pollen, and it has already caused water spots overnight. And if this isn't taken care of, it will etch into the glass, it will etch into the paint, it will etch into the PPF, it will etch into coatings. So at the very least, get it rinsed off as thoroughly as you can. This car has PPF. On top of the PPF, there is a coating. And you will notice there are water spots already formed and are already etching into the coating. That's how acidic pollen is, so get it rinsed. The pollen can etch plastic trim, paint, PPF, rims of any type of trim, chrome, polished aluminum. Films can etch, they're not impervious. Coatings are definitely not impervious and can easily etch and form and have, well, they have problems with water spotting. That's one of the downfalls of coatings, the water spotting, because they make it bead. My recommendation, if you can find a coating that sheets, which nobody ever will, nobody ever takes the advice on that, except for maybe one or two guys that realize that sheeting is better than beading. Even though it makes for great videos and pictures, beading is horrible for your paint. What I'm going to do next, as quick as I can before these water droplets start drying up, lay your drying towel spread out somewhere on the hood, on the table, and just mist BC3 or your favorite detailer that has a ton of slickness into each side of the drying towel. It's going to give you bit of lubrication and a bit of protection, doing two things at once, drying and laying down protection. And again, you want to do this as quick as you possibly can. Luckily, this pollen was not down on the surface long enough to leave permanent etching behind. I honestly am having to apply a bit of pressure to remove some of the pollen that is still grabbing onto the surface, because as I said, the grains of pollen have little fingers that come out and grab onto things. Let me show you this. If I just lightly wipe it, it's not enough. Got to use just a little bit of force, and with that BC3 detailer on there, it's gone. See that? And you have a dry, glossy surface with no spots, and you just go around and do that to the whole surface. Now, an even better thing to do, grab your foam gun or foam cannon. The foam cannon is, there's one for the hose, there's one for the pressure washer. Add your favorite foamer or car soap and an ounce of the Kraken from Phoenix EOD that will bump up that alkaline level a bit to neutralize the acidic level of the pollen, and that will happen and occur immediately if you use that mix. Then get the foamer over here and foam the entire car. Paint, plastic trim, bumper to bumper, wheels, wheel wells, as heavy as you can. and let it dwell for as long as you possibly can. Before it starts to dry out. And even if it does at spots, say it starts to dry out in little areas like that, don't worry. You hit it with water, it'll reactivate the soap where you can rinse it completely free. Just don't let the whole car dry with soap on it. And after about 6 minutes or so, there are areas that are starting to get dry, but that's okay. You want to give the foam as much time as you can to neutralize that pollen. Now, guys, if that pollen has only been on there for a day or two, or maybe 3, the rinse and or hitting it with foam and then rinsing it is all you're going to need to do. And then using your drying towel with a quick detail or a BC3 misted into it. Now, if it's been dirty before that and has road film and everything, then you want to go through the full wash process. That's completely up to you. But all you need to do to neutralize and get rid of the pollen is to rinse it and dry it immediately, or foam it, neutralize it, rinse it, and then dry it at your convenience. Start at the top, rinse it top to bottom as thoroughly as you can. Again, this has protection, and you'll see that it rinses free without leaving that water spotting behind. I gotta tell you guys, this is one of 3 or 4 black cars of mine that sits out and gets pollen on it. And to be completely honest, lunchtime, every day I'm grabbing one of them and taking them, if I can't get in the shop here to wash them, I'm taking them to a coin operated and doing exactly what I showed on this video. And, if you have a coin operated wash that's not heavily monitored and you don't have Paul Blart Mall Cop sitting out that won't let you get out your foamer, you can actually rinse it, foam it with your own soap, and then quick rinse it again, and then get it out of there to dry it. And again, if you have somebody that cooperates, you can actually dry in the bays. Some of these car washes, though, they're heavily monitored. Some even have cameras. They don't want you using your own soap. They don't want you drying in their bays. They can be a real you-know-what. But just some tips that'll help you during pollen season. Yeah, the finish of the C5 came a long way, but it still needs a lot of work with the paint, filling cracks and chips, and it needs to be repainted. But I'll tell you what, this hasn't been washed for a week, just rinsed and dried exactly like I showed you on the video, and it looks absolutely fantastic. No bucket wash whatsoever. Guys, I hope that helps. Number 1, rinse as often as you can when you see heavy pollen buildup. If you see it get wet, you're almost at no choice but to do the bucket wash because of the water spotting. But as long as it doesn't get wet, you have some time to get it off, 1, 2, or 3 days. I wouldn't let it on there really longer than a day personally. At lunchtime, every day, I'll go and rinse these off. If you are in an apartment setting and can't do what I showed you with water and a pressure washer, stop into the coin operated, or if you want to go the waterless or rinseless, or whatever, 2 words for you. It's a little pricey, but ammo froth is a great way to attack pollen using the twist towel method. I hope that helps. Brian from Apex Auto Detail. I'll catch you in the next video. Stay tuned to the channel for fresh content that's going to be mixed in with the content that's being moved over from the other channel, and I hope you enjoy.